All right, welcome to Crypto Polaris. Today we're going to talk about strategy, also known as MicroStrategy. Why are we talking about strategy? It is a simple answer. They are a publicly traded company in US, in NASDAQ, and they are converting their balance sheet to Bitcoin. So this is an awesome story, and I cannot wait to share this with you. So why don't we get started? Today's agenda is very simple. We're going to talk about strategy, and this is a high-level discussion point for you guys so you can follow through. And of course, as always, you can skip the video, go to different chapters. If some of these things don't apply to you, you're not interested, and so on and so forth. Why are we talking about strategy? They only have two goals, and that is it. There are two major goals. Number one goal is to accumulate at least 1 million Bitcoin. What does that mean? If you assume there's 21 million Bitcoin in circulation, they are going to take 4.7% of that 21 million. But of course, as we all know, 3 to 3.5 million coins are lost. So based on that calculation, they'll be controlling 6% of 16.5 million outstanding Bitcoins that will ever be in existence. And we can talk about why the Bitcoins are lost in another show. So these are the two major reasons. And the other one, guys, I want to point out something. Their earnings call is coming. It is slated for August 5th, and it is going to be the blowout earnings call you have ever seen in the history of any publicly traded company. Let me quickly show you why it's going to be a blowout. Look at this, guys. Do you see the top 10 companies in the history of the world? Number one is Saudi Aramco. In one quarter, they made $50 billion profit. Then you see Apple, Microsoft, and Berkshire. Guess what's going to happen? In Q2, August 5th of 2025, MicroStrategy is going to report anywhere between $15 billion to $25 billion worth of profit. That is mind-boggling, guys. That is mind-boggling. This is another reason why the shares are going to trade up, because MicroStrategy's share is poised to go up tremendously. What do I mean by tremendously? Look at that. It's all driven by Bitcoin prices. So I have a spreadsheet, very detailed spreadsheet that I spent a week working on it, trying to calculate what the Bitcoin price will be and what the MicroStrategy price will be. Bitcoin price under my standard model, I expect it to be $452,000. I'm going to show you by when. Also, if I do a moderate estimation, it's $1.8 million per Bitcoin, and aggressively $4.25 million per Bitcoin. And the spreadsheet is going to be made available to you. You can look at the details. I won't go through all the details, but I will show you at a high level what the spreadsheet shows me and why I'm excited about Bitcoin. Of course, Strategy is a Bitcoin treasury company. So therefore, the MicroStrategy share, which trades in NASDAQ, in my estimation, it is going to be at least $3,000 per share under the standard model. Today's price on the share is about $375 per share. So you can do the multiplications of how many times it's going to grow. And also by when, I estimate it's in the spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you that. But if I use a moderate estimation, it's $12,000 a share. It's hard to believe. And then aggressively, $34,000 a share. And effectively, that makes Strategy one of the richest company in the world. One of the richest company in the world. So now, guys, I'm going to walk you through the history of MicroStrategy, the man that started MicroStrategy, what is MicroStrategy, and give you a little history. No one really talks about the history of MicroStrategy. So it's very important that you understand the history of MicroStrategy. This gentleman, Michael Saylor, what can I say? Brilliant, 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 brilliant. He started MicroStrategy. He's the co-founder, one of the three co-founders that started MicroStrategy way back in 1989. He's an MIT graduate, first in his class. He's got so many patents under him. It is unreal what this man is capable of doing. And he is only like 59 years old. And he has reinvented and changing the financial system. It's important you Google his name and study what he has been doing for us in this whole Bitcoin market. So now I want to show you something that is going to show you the history of this company. Okay, guys, this is an infographics that I created. And you can find this on my @CryptoPolaris21 in the Twitter space. But effectively, you can see in the bottom, they started in 1989. It was founded as the name MicroStrategy. There were 3 co-founders, and you can Google that and learn about that. But in 1998, they went public. They started trading on NASDAQ, and the stock really did well, and they started booming in 1998. In 2000, the dot-com boom, Michael Saylor himself was worth $7 billion. This is back in 2000, guys. We're in 2025 now. Fast forward, 2022, Michael Saylor decided that he wants to turn this MicroStrategy, which was nothing more than a software business intelligence company, graphics, charts, data science, and all of that. He decided to take this company and convert that into a coin treasury company. Of course, he still has his software business. It generates close to $100-some million of revenue, but he decided to take the balance sheet of that company, MicroStrategy, and created a MicroStrategy coin treasury company. And that started sometime in August of 2020. Fast forward, just this year, I believe it was February of this year, he decided to rebrand the company, and now he calls it Strategy. We all call it MicroStrategy because we've been following them. I all the time call them MicroStrategy, but publicly they're known as Strategy. And of course, in today's world, meaning today being June 8th, I believe, 2025, he has approximately 600,000 Bitcoins. And I'm going to show you all of that. So this is a great company. It is a software company that eventually continued and has a different version of the company, which now has a Bitcoin treasury, and they are growing and growing and growing. Okay, guys, it's important to understand this is a snapshot from Strategy's website. If you look carefully, they currently own, right in the middle of this, you'll see 580,955 Bitcoin. That's how many Bitcoins they have, and they're buying it every week. Their current stock price, the ticker is MSTR, is $374. You can go to Charles Schwab, E-Trade, any place and buy their share. Okay, this is MicroStrategy. And the reason their shares keep going up and up and up is because they hold so many Bitcoins. As the price of Bitcoin goes up, their shares go up. And there are many other factors into this. So what they're doing is very simple, and I'm going to show you what they're doing. But they're effectively buying Bitcoin every week, and the valuation of this company keeps growing. The current enterprise value of this company is $114 billion. Guys, are you paying attention? I believe they're going to become a $36 trillion companies in next 10 years or less, and I'm going to walk you through that. All right, let's go to the next slide. Look at this. Look at the rate of this company growing. What am I showing you here? It is their actual asset. Their Bitcoin is growing 100% annualized. You can see they are the only company that is growing so fast. Everybody else is holding on to their cash. And when they hold on to their cash, this is what happens. Look at Berkshire Hathaway. Look at Amazon. Look at Google. Look at Microsoft. Each one, $410 billion, $157 billion, $148 billion. All of these that you see in green, they're holding it in their checking account or treasury notes. That's fiat, USD. They're holding it mostly in USD. We all know what is happening to USD. It is shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. It's constantly shrinking, shrinking. So this is going down. While look at Strategy, that's in yellow. All of their $61 billion is in Bitcoin. So they use the Strategy company to get people to give them cash. And I'm going to show you how they raise cash and they immediately buy Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That is what Strategy is doing every day. Look at this, guys. From August of 2020 to now, Strategy has grown. The share of Strategy, the MSTR that you can buy in NASDAQ, has grown 2,885%. Bitcoin didn't even grow that much, 775%. And then on the technology side, the one that is number 2 is NVIDIA, 1,100% growth. It is an amazing story that is being written. This whole financial system, as you know, under the USD is changing, guys. Do you understand what I'm trying to show you? Why I'm talking about MicroStrategy? It is a Bitcoin company. It's using the Bitcoin as the nuclear power to grow the MicroStrategy into this financial or traditional financial system. Look at this. In the last 3 months, MicroStrategy shares have grown 44%. Where are you going to get this kind of return? They haven't even started, guys. They haven't even started. The stock price is $375 as of today. I believe in next 10 years, the stock price is $10,000 to $15,000 per share. And I'm going to show you how in that Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to share with you. And you will find it in the down link in my description area, where there'll be a link to my Google Drive, and I'll post the spreadsheet, but I'll show you a little bit here as well. All right, let's keep going. Now, when they started, this was a novel idea. And I want to give you a little flavor of where they're getting all this money. Where they're getting all this money. They're raising money to buy Bitcoin. They're tapping into the fixed income pool, where they have convertible bonds, where they have all sorts of other types of fixed income people. There's right now $300 trillion worth of capital in fixed income. And Michael Saylor of Strategy just started tapping into that. And I will show you how he's doing that. He's also going to tap into the real estate pool to raise money. And his goal is to get 6% of this 300 plus 300, $600 trillion. He wants to get that capital coming into MicroStrategy. That's $36 trillion worth of money that he wants to take and buy Bitcoin. This is amazing. He has raised $42 billion and he is raising another $42 billion, soon to be $84 billion. And he is working on other instruments that is going to allow him to grow all of these and allow him to buy all these Bitcoin, guys. Okay, so Strategy is going to become the largest company in the world. In the world. It's amazing. Now, why do you want to buy Strategy? You're like, Zia, I can buy Apple, I can buy Boeing, I can do any kind of real estate investment. Why would I want to buy Strategy? It's very simple, guys. You buy Apple shares, no problem. It's done great. It's one of the best companies in the world. But they're susceptible to natural disaster, tariff, geopolitical issues. They have a limit. They have a ceiling. Maybe at best, they'll be $8 trillion. Okay, give them $16 trillion. Or it could be another brand that comes about and Apple is no longer competitive. Look at Boeing, the airline company. God forbid, a plane crashes, their stock goes down. Look at real estate investments. They're prone to hurricanes and tornadoes, and the value goes down. But Strategy is completely built on the financial system, which is using the hardest, pristine asset ever found in the history of humanity. It's called Bitcoin. So his whole company has been fueled and driven by Bitcoin. And he's going to access that $600 trillion that's out there. And he just wants to grab 6% of that $600 trillion and fuel Strategy. And yes, there are some risks. Now, he is trying to raise money and he needs the ratings services like S&P Global, Moody's, and Fitch. If you're into financial stuff, you'll understand what I mean. He wants them to give him a seal of approval. That is what he's working on right now. The moment he gets the seal of approval, all the instruments that he has created to capture fiat money and immediately buy Bitcoin, this is going to open the floodgate of that $600 trillion, guys. I hope you are paying attention to what I am trying to tell you. He is doing the step by step by step, methodically, very methodically, trying to tap into the $600 trillion to get that fiat money and then buy Bitcoin. And of course, the other risk is if Bitcoin price goes below $15,000, then he has to slow down and readjust and all that. So if you believe Bitcoin is going to zero or going below $15,000, then of course, you don't have to invest in any of these things. And this is not for you. But me and a lot of the people out there do not believe Bitcoin is going to zero. If anything, Bitcoin is going to multi-million dollars per coin. Okay? So let's go to the next one. This is inside of Strategy. You see these cogs? The one on the green is called STRF. One in yellow is called strike. The one in orange is called stride. And then the white one is MicroStrategy. You don't really need to understand what these things are, but every one of these symbols that you're looking at trades like a stock. You can buy these, and Charles Schwab and others. Originally, he created MicroStrategy, which is a common share, and then he's created all these other instruments to get cash, and then turn all these cogs to create the MicroStrategy shares to go up. All of these instruments he's created, these are financial instruments. This genius has created these financial instruments. I'll show you what they are a little bit, but we won't go into a lot of the details. But all of these raises money for him. All of these allows him to go into that $600 trillion, raise money, and buy Bitcoin, which then in turn increases the MicroStrategy share prices. Are you with me? This is so intriguing. Okay, so Zia, what the heck are these things? Strife and Stride and Strike and MicroStrategy. So let's start on the lower right-hand side. MSTR, that is their common share. Okay, you can buy this, and they sell that, and they raise money, and they immediately buy Bitcoin. Then they've come up with something called Strike, where you can buy that. I think it's selling for $106 a share. They will give you $8 per share, roughly 8%. $8 per share as a dividend. And you can convert this into MicroStrategy shares if you like. So this is a convertible preferred that you get dividend on. So he's attacking the fixed income people. So what are the fixed income people? That's the $300 trillion that's in there. So fixed income people always want consistent 8% dividend, 8 to 10% dividend. This pays that. Stride is also something else targeted toward the fixed income people, and it gives you 10%. So you buy Stride as an equity share, and it's selling around $100. So of course, the Stride itself goes up in share prices. Strike itself goes up in share prices, but at the same time, you're getting 10% for Stride, and it is not convertible to MicroStrategy shares. That's the only difference between Strike and Stride at a high level. That's the difference. Then there's, of course, Strife, which is 10%, and that is converted into MicroStrategy also. So you can see these curves or lines. X-axis is volatility. The more volatility you have, the less seniority you have on a debt. So in the event MicroStrategy crashes, that's another way of looking at it. Strife people would get paid out first, then Strike, then Stride, and then last is common shareholders, which is MicroStrategy. Getting into too much of these things, but the bottom line is all these different instruments. There are 4 right now. There's actually a 5th one, which is the convertible bond that I didn't show here, that MicroStrategy also sells, but they don't really do that all the time. So look at this engine. The bottom, they now hold $61 billion worth of Bitcoin. And then there's MicroStrategy, Stride, Strike, Strife, and on top is convertible bond. So this is set up like this, and the bottom keeps growing, and the foundation becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's why this strategy price keeps going up. Okay? So what have they accomplished, and what is coming next? Very simply, they have raised their market share to around $105 billion. Their goal is to get to $13 trillion. Okay, as I mentioned, they raised $40 billion. They're raising another $42 billion. They have added to NASDAQ 100 back in December of last year, which is great. That's bringing in more liquidity into strategy company, whereby they can then go buy more Bitcoin. Are you beginning to see the connection? They're raising money through various vehicles, and then they buy Bitcoin. And then in turn, that increases the valuation of the common shareholders. Okay, so which is MSTR. They are more than likely going to be named in the S&P 500 because their second quarter earnings is going to blow up $15 billion to $25 billion in one quarter of earnings. That qualifies them to be added into S&P 500. So when you get added into S&P 500, it's a perpetual buy, perpetual bid, where everybody must buy S&P 500. All these huge pension funds and whatnot buy S&P 500. A percentage of that goes to MicroStrategy, and they will be buying Bitcoin with that. All right? Now, guys, MicroStrategy is the pioneer. They are the 500-pound gorilla that is doing this, but that there are other companies who have taken MicroStrategy's blueprint and copying it over and over, with even Michael Saylor advocating and helping them. So Strive is a company. They bought 75,000 Bitcoin. You know the name, Vivek Ramaswamy. He's the one that owns this company. Marathon Digital just bought 46,000. These are fully functional companies. They do something else. Just like MicroStrategy was a fully functional software company, they still do that. But what they're doing is they're leveraging their balance sheet to be able to buy Bitcoin instead of keeping in their checking account, in their treasury, which is a checking account that they keep cash with USD. They're converting that into Bitcoin. So some of these household names like Tesla, they own roughly 12,000 Bitcoins. GameStop just started 2 weeks ago. They bought 4,700 Bitcoin. There's over 200 companies that are doing this, and there's more and more every day that are joining this. So in summary, the goal, I started with the goal. The strategy's goal is very simple. They want to own at least 1 million Bitcoin, 1 million Bitcoin. They want to become at least a $13 trillion market cap, at least a $13 trillion market cap. And of course, guys, cannot wait for August 5th to come about when they will talk about their earnings. I think it will be at least $15 billion. And of course, as the Bitcoin price goes up, that net profit goes up. Because what is that? That's the total number of Bitcoin strategy owns times the value of each Bitcoin. That's how you get to 15 billion to 20 billion to 25. What if by August 5th, the Bitcoin is $200,000? Oh my goodness. You just do the math. 200,000 times, right now they own almost 600,000 Bitcoin. Of course, they're buying every week. Okay, guys, as promised, I want to share with you what I've created here, okay? It's this particular one you're looking at is MicroStrategy. This one is standard growth. This one is moderate growth. And this one is aggressive growth. So let me walk you through, and I'm not going to go through every single detail with you, but focus your eyes on this blue and focus your eyes on this purple, okay? Blue for current column right here. This is today. Each column is each year. It goes all the way out to 2030. I want to pay special attention to 2030 in yellow, and I took it all the way out to 2035. So what do I have here? And guys, if you're bored with this, you can skip it. I'm going to post this in my Google Drive, and I'll link that, and you can look at it more in detail. But what I'm showing you is today's Bitcoin price is 105. What if next year the Bitcoin price was 158, which is a conservative increase of 50%? If you look here, what I have on the right-hand side, this is a historical annual growth. When Bitcoin first started, it grew 100%. Okay, forget that. Last year, it grew 122%. Okay, so look over here. I've just said, what if it grew just 30% rest of the time? And that's actually what Michael Saylor says. Okay, so based on that, in 2026, Bitcoin price goes to 158. MicroStrategy share goes to 1,200. 2027, 206,000 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is 1,500. So this is a very conservative estimation. Right now, remember, MicroStrategy is at $375. So that is huge multiplier here. Now, let's look at year 2030, 5 years from now. MicroStrategy using this very conservative model is 3,400. And then Bitcoin only in 2030. Do you really believe Bitcoin is sitting at 452,000? But I did this as a conservative. So let's go to moderate estimation. Now that you understand how this spreadsheet works, let me take you to the moderate estimation, which is right here. And let's go back up. So today the Bitcoin is 105. What if next year Bitcoin was 184,000? All right. Then MicroStrategy is almost 2,000. Okay. So let's keep going to 2030. Bitcoin is $1.8 million in 2030, which is very likely. Some people are calling it 3 million to 5 million. Look at the price of MicroStrategy. It's sitting at 375 today. Based on this, that's $12,000 per share. What does that mean, guys? That means MicroStrategy's market cap is 3.5 trillion only. 3.5 trillion only. Remember what I said? By 2035, MicroStrategy has a potential of becoming $13 trillion. If you use this, look at what their per share is, $46,000. And at that time, Bitcoin price is only $7 million. If you believe in the Bitcoin, do you believe in 10 years Bitcoin is going to be $7 million? Then MicroStrategy certainly is $46,000 per share. All right, so last but not least, let's just go a little crazy and use a little bit aggressive. And it's a little bit aggressive in a sense that this year Bitcoin grows 200%, next year 200, then it's 100, then it slows down to 50%, and then it slows down to 30%. So it's aggressive first next 5 years, but it slows down to very standard growth. Today is 105, then next year is 307, then guess what happens? It becomes $4,000. Yes, there is a thing called MNAV that I've changed here. I won't get into all of that, but point here is look at 2030. Your Bitcoin is 4 million, it's 34,000 because the MNAV has come down to 2.2. It will eventually come down, the MNAV. This is very complex spreadsheet. I don't want to bore you with this, but if you are interested in this, I can certainly share this with you. Guys, I want to thank you for coming. This has been a tremendous show. It's all about strategy. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe and like the video and send me some comments. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.